What is up, guys? This is the instant match reaction to Newcastle 0, Everton 1. Absolute phenomenal display. This was one of the performances of the season, in my opinion. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't, you know, anything crazy, but it was a really calm, really professional display. Let's get right into it. Man of the match was Jordan Pickford, voted by the people. Obviously, Newcastle fans, if you lose, you're not going to be more enticed or incentivized to vote. But Pickford and Pope both had phenomenal games, in my opinion. Equally, they both made 5-6 really good saves. And, it was a, Carlos Alcaraz looping header, leaping higher than Dan Burn, who apparently it looked like he slipped. But to bury it, in the bottom right corner and give Everton the lead, and then the win. Really happy for him. Let's go through the lineups. I think David Moyes got this right. I think he did a great job. Obviously, the team sort of picks itself to some degree. We only have two center backs, Michael Keane and Jake O'Brien. They were both absolutely phenomenal. It kind of makes you wonder if Keane should get another contract just to be a fourth choice center back, maybe less money. But this and the Fulham game, he was phenomenal. Like, not once today did I worry about conceding a goal. There was the Kieran Trippier free kick towards the end. That was the only time where I kind of had some doubt in my mind. But in open play and set pieces, we didn't look, rocky at all. I think Keano and Jake O'Brien did phenomenal today. So good job to them. Ashley Young is preferred over Nathan Patterson from every manager that's played them. So I thought he was very composed, very professional today. Mikolenko, he's our only left back. He picks himself. Njai was like, oh my God, his dribbling today, his strength and his balance, his dribbling. And I'm sure that'll be one thing that the Newcastle fans will take out by watching him. Like, the amount of times he danced and weaved through the entire midfield, unbelievable. If he has another season like this, he will be moving to an Arsenal or I don't know who for 60 plus million. He's a maverick, and he's a player we haven't had in a very long time. Jack Harrison, I thought, played very well. I prefer Dwight McNeil. However, when Dwight McNeil came on, we'll get into it more later, but he looked very sluggish. Jack Harrison's got this like explosiveness about him. Even though his end product is awful, he's got this explosiveness, and he's got this engine that he just makes it work. Didn't really do much today, but he was always an outlet. He was always, busting a lung just to get forward on the pitch. Carlos Alcaraz, of course, got the goal, and he was phenomenal. He was instrumental in making us tick. He was a maestro of sorts. He was everywhere, and he was the reason we got so far up the pitch, him and Njai. Idrissa Gueye was, oh my God, head and shoulders the best midfielder today. He was everywhere. He won every tackle. He was getting us forward. He was winning fouls. He was phenomenal, and I really hope we'll offer him another contract, even if it's just 1 year, because I think we lose a big part of our midfield if he's not in it, and it kind of worries me. So hopefully that gets sorted, because he deserves it, for one, and two, we need him. And James Garner, I thought, was also very instrumental. He was snappy. He was aggressive. He was, so many interceptions where he was coming forward to, cut out passing lanes and channels and stuff like that. So he did great. And then Beto, I've been saying this for a while now, Beto's hold-up game and his general forward play have improved so much even since Moyes came in. But since he came into the club, he didn't start very well, and he didn't look like a Premier League player, let alone a footballer at times. But he was winning flick-ons. His hold-up play was phenomenal. He was patient. He was always an option, which I think is important as forwards. As far as the bench goes, again, it kind of picks itself. He didn't really have anyone. Broja's not going to come on. Patterson's probably not going to come on. So, the three there. Decore just made himself busy. Dwight McNeil Had some nice play, some nice touches, but he's just looked sluggish ever since his injury. He's never looked right, in my opinion. And then Dom, gets one-on-one with the keeper, and of course, what does Dom do that he always does? He just fires it right at the keeper, essentially, and, it is what it is. A story and a tale as old as time. So our stats, of course, Newcastle at home, and just being a better footballing team in general, they're going to have more possession, way more passes, and of course we had more tackles, clearance, and stuff like that. There was one series of play where they had 5 or 6 corners back to back to back, so that was a little bit worrying, but we deal with that stuff very well ever since Moyes came in, so it is what it is. See if there's anything else to look at. Not really. So yeah, that was a very good display. It's so nice to end the season off on such a high note. Another away win, another clean sheet. A very difficult, some would say, one of the most difficult places to go, St. James Park away. To get a very comfortable victory. It should have been 2 or 3 now, in my personal opinion. There was no heart and mouth moments for Pickford to have to make crazy saves. Maybe one shot from Tonali outside the box, but should have been 2 or 3-0 in my opinion. I'm very excited and optimistic for the season going forward. Of course, so many people know, there's a stat that came out that even without Sean Dyche's 21 games in charge, we still wouldn't have been relegated, just under the games David Moyes was in charge of. We were well clear, so that's very rewarding and very optimistic and fulfilling, and I'm really excited for next season. We do have to address all the players out of contract. Moyes said he'll speak about it on Monday, which is tomorrow, obviously. And, the likes of Michael Keane, I think, personally, we can't afford to sign 10 new players, which is kind of what we need. So you might have to give Keno a 1-year contract on lower money. He'll probably take it. Idrissa Gueye, another 1-year contract, maybe on lower money. He'll probably take it. The likes of Seamus is still up in the air. Dom will probably go, and rightly so. He's on a lot of money and just not really performing. He's actually not performing whatsoever. And then we got to replace, the likes of Jack Harrison. Oral Mangala hasn't been in the side for a while, but him, Broja, what are we doing with Trimidi? No manager's playing him. Is that to his, own fault, or is that because DCL and everyone's in front of him? There's a lot going on. We need a left back. We need, Mason Holgate's going to leave the club. We need a backup keeper. We need center forward. We need 2 wingers. We need, are we signing Alcaraz? I really hope we do. He deserves it. So nice to finish the season. Let's take a quick look at the table, actually. There we go, tables. So it's nice that we can actually look up and not down. Finish the season 48 points, 13th place. None of us would have thought that we'd be here when Dyche left the club, but it's incredible. And I think if we had a full season with Moyes, and hopefully this is the case next season, we'd be pushing 60 points. I think we'd be in the low 60s if he was here from the start, based on his points, per game average. That can never really be sure, but look at the goals conceded compared to all the other teams. 44. This is also hilarious, unrelated, but Spurs -1 in 17th, and then -47, 46, and 60 for the bottom 3 teams. Come on, the drop in quality is just too much nowadays. But anyways, 48 points, happy days. Fulham, Southampton, Newcastle, nice 3 wins in a row to finish off the season. Really proud of this team, really proud of all the players. The fans were phenomenal today. You could hear them on the TV. And Newcastle fans gave up on booing Pickford about halfway through. And also Anthony Gordon getting subbed off, and he's a diving rat. So, happy days, happy result. Up the Toffees. See you guys next time.